Hello dear listener, please subscribe to our channel. Enjoy watching. Man, let me tell you, when they say love is blind, they're not kidding. Love blinds you to the warning signs, the red flags, and sometimes even the flashing neon ones. I learned that the hard way, the kind of way that twists a knife in your back, but instead of pulling it out, you decide to twist it back into the people who put it there. So, grab a drink and settle in, because this is one hell of a story. It all started with Emily. My wife of 7 years. She was gorgeous, smart, and had this magnetic charm that made everyone around her feel special. I loved her. Scratch that, I worshipped her. When we met, I thought I hit the jackpot. And for a while, life was good. Too good, maybe. Looking back, I should have known that perfect isn't real. Emily and I had met at a charity gala. She was there representing a non-profit, I was there trying to schmooze a potential client. She had this effortless elegance about her, the kind of presence that could silence a room just by walking into it. By the end of the night, I was hooked. We dated for a year before tying the knot. 7 years later, I still thought I was living a dream. But then, about 6 months ago, I started noticing little things. She was glued to her phone more than usual, giggling at texts she'd quickly hide when I walked into the room. She started working late, meetings that ran over, or happy hours with the team. I told myself I was being paranoid. I mean, she's my wife. She wouldn't cheat on me. Would she? The first real crack appeared on a Saturday morning. Emily was in the shower, and her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Normally, I wouldn't think twice about it, but something about the way she'd been acting lately made me pause. The text was from someone named Kay. It read, "Can't stop thinking about last night. When can we meet again?" My heart stopped. I wanted to believe it was a misunderstanding, but deep down, I knew. That's when the doubt started to fester. I didn't confront her right away. No, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm a planner. I needed proof. For the next few weeks, I paid closer attention. I'm not proud of it, but I went through her phone when she was asleep. I found more texts, photos, even a video of them together. It was all laid out, clear as day. Emily and Kyle weren't just friends. They were lovers. Kyle. Of all people. He was one of her so-called friends, someone she'd met at yoga or some nonsense like that. He'd pop by the house occasionally, always polite and charming. Too charming. I couldn't believe I hadn't seen it sooner. I'm not gonna lie, it felt like my world crumbled in that moment. But then something snapped in me. I wasn't gonna be the guy who cried and begged and let them walk all over me. No. I was going to make them pay. And I was going to do it in a way they'd never see coming. The thing about my job is, I've got connections. High-end collectors, shady dealers, and people who owe me favors. I started putting a plan together. The first step was to create bait, a rare piece of art that'd make Kyle salivate. See, Kyle had this little side hustle flipping pieces he'd find at estate sales and auctions. He thought he was clever, but he was a lightweight compared to me. I planted the rumor about a missing Monet. It didn't exist, of course, but I made it real enough. I had a forgery commissioned, a damn good one, and spread word through the grapevine that it was about to surface. I even staged a fake auction listing with a starting bid that would make anyone's eyes pop. Then, I leaked the opportunity directly to Kyle through a mutual acquaintance. Hook, line, and sinker. Emily, of course, was all over it. She had no idea I was behind the whole thing. She saw dollar signs and told Kyle it was their chance to hit the big leagues. They scraped together everything they could to make a deposit for the piece. I even had a fake middleman broker the deal to make it look legit. The night of the transaction, I set the stage. I rented out a private room in a gallery downtown, the kind of place where high-end deals go down. I had cameras installed, microphones hidden, and a plan that would leave no loose ends. Kyle showed up first, sweating bullets but trying to play it cool. Emily came with him, dressed to the nines, probably thinking they were about to pull off the con of the century. I walked in, and you should have seen their faces. Emily's went pale, and Kyle. He looked like a deer caught in headlights. Before either of them could speak, I locked the door and put my phone on the table. One by one, I played the evidence. The texts. The photos. The video. Every dirty little secret they thought they'd hidden. The room was dead silent, except for the sound of their world crashing down. But I wasn't done. Not by a long shot. I leaned in close to Kyle and said, "You know that Monet you're so excited about? It's fake. And I've got proof that you tried to buy stolen artwork. How do you think the authorities will feel about that?" He stammered, trying to deny it, but I didn't give him a chance. I had another little surprise for them. You see, I'd recorded our entire meeting. Every desperate plea, every pathetic excuse. It was all on tape. And I had plans for that recording. Emily begged me to stop, tears streaming down her face. But I wasn't moved. She betrayed me, and now she was going to face the consequences. I sent copies of the evidence to her family, her friends, and, the cherry on top, her boss. Turns out, sleeping with a guy who dabbles in stolen art isn't a great look when you're trying to climb the corporate ladder. As for Kyle, I let him off easy. All I did was ruin his reputation in the art world. He's blacklisted now, can't sell a thing, and last I heard, he's waiting tables in some no-name town. Emily's life fell apart piece by piece. Her friends turned on her, her family disowned her, and her job. Gone. She tried reaching out to me a few times, but I blocked her number. I wasn't interested in her apologies. Now, you might be thinking, was it worth it? Did I feel better after all that? Honestly, yeah. Watching them crash and burn was satisfying in a way I can't even describe. They thought they could get away with it, but they underestimated me. But here's the thing. Revenge doesn't fix everything. It doesn't undo the betrayal or make you whole again. What it does is give you closure. And for me, that was enough. So, there you have it. The story of how I turned the tables on my cheating wife and her lover. It wasn't pretty, but hey, neither was what they did to me. And now, I'm free. Free to move on, rebuild, and find someone who actually deserves me. Cheers to that. If you leave a comment, tell us what you think about the story you heard. It's important to us and will help us find and tell stories that you find interesting. Thank you for watching us.